The Rock and Roll and Coffee Show is brought to you by Retroactive, located at Broadway at the Beach in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, taking you back to the 70s, 80s, and 90s. ShopRetroactive.com. Pick up your bottle of the Rock and Roll and Coffee Show Hot Rockin' Hot Sauce now at Retroactive or rnrcoffeeshow.com.
It's the Rock and Roll and Coffee Show. Yeah, with Joe.
All right, Perry. So, you were on this show about 2 years ago. It's been already.
Has it?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
That's
You
crazy.
you were releasing the final battle at that time.
Yep.
Here we are 2 years later, and you've put out an acoustic record, and now you have a new album out, When We Were Kings.
Yes. Yes, I'm very happy with the new album. I mean, the acoustic thing was cool. It was that was already recorded when they had that in the can for years and just never released it. And I went in and re-recorded the bass and background vocals on that. But the new one, the new album is I'm really proud of it. It turned out great. Michael did a great job producing and writing that one, man. It's some great guitar work on there and some great vocals. So we're really happy with the way that one turned out. Yep.
Yeah. Now, how is the writing process with Stryper? Does Michael do all that writing and present you guys with
Yeah,
the songs?
yeah, he's a writing machine, dude. I've never met anybody like him before. He'll he can write an album in 2 weeks. It's crazy. He'll like do a song a day. And I mean, he'll get the basics of it down. He'll send us copies of the riff and with a drum machine going and whatever. No vocals. We'll just concentrate on the music. And when we get together, we'll arrange stuff and add and take away stuff here and there, but it's pretty much the idea is pretty much there, from him. So he's a fast writer, and you think doing everything so fast will jeopardize the quality, but it's with him, man. I mean, and he's working on different projects also, writing songs for other people and stuff. So he's got a catalog in his head. I think I'm not sure how that happens, but it's
Yeah.
amazing.
He's always doing something. He's always doing this sunbomb stuff or whatever he's doing, he's
Yeah,
constantly going.
it's crazy. He never sits still, man. He's going all day long, every day. Always got to be moving. You never. I'm sitting in my rocking chair, smoking a cigar, just waiting on the day to get by. Right? He's passing by me like 100 times, going doing something. Like, man, what are you doing? It's crazy.
Well, you do other projects every now and then, right? You did that what was that last project
Did
you
the
did?
clean break thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert and I played on that. That was a couple of years ago, but um, yeah, I hadn't really done much other than that. I really don't want to.
No, you don't do any writing on your own?
Not lately. I wrote in the past. I wrote a lot with Firehouse, and the last record I was on the Firehouse thing was I think I wrote or had a right hand in writing 7 or 8 songs that were on that album. So I became more involved on it later on. It was, but I hadn't been writing lately. I've been concentrating on this stuff and. It's something when I look back on it, I always wish I'd have written more, but I'm happy where I am, and I don't have anything else much to prove to myself. I'm happy where I'm at. I get to sit around and play golf every now and then, smoke a cigar, and I'm happy with life. So I don't need to do anything else.
You're right where you need to be then.
I am, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Do you still get excited when you release a new album, like on release day? Is it still the same as it was, or?
It it's probably not as exciting as it was when you put your first one out or your second or third. But I mean, now this is what the ninth or 10th studio album I've been on, and it's still really exciting. but I mean, it might not be like when I was 30,
Yeah.
but, you know, but yeah, it still gets exciting. And looking at the chart, man, you look at the Amazon chart and we're, somewhere around the top of a bunch of the charts on this record. And it's very exciting. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah. Do you look at streams?
The only stream things I'll look at is if I get a statement from our publishing from like back in the Firehouse days, I paid royalties on all the publishing on that. So I can look at that and tell what country is coming from, which songs getting the most streams and all that kind of thing. I've looked at it from there, but the Stryper stuff doesn't get played that much. It's you're not going to get played on terrestrial radio. XM Hair Nation doesn't play Stryper a whole lot. They play Firehouse a lot more than they did Stryper. I mean, I've seen like maybe Free and the Hell with the Devil, and that's the only thing I've saw on XM in the last, well, since I've been in the band. But so and I don't, and they're not playing any of the new stuff, so I'm not getting paid on that. So um, it's mostly from the Firehouse days that I can look and see what's going on with the streaming.
Well, the new album sounds great. I think some of my highlights of it were I liked When We Were Kings. I like that. And I like Trinity and Imperfect World, I think it's called.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
those songs. And one thing I noticed on this record is it's a pretty heavy record. Not like fast heavy, but it's a pretty heavy record, but still has that melodic side to it, which
yeah.
is, was that an intentional thing for you guys to try to do something like
Absolutely,
that?
absolutely. Yeah. So we wanted to make it really heavy. We love Michael and I mean, all the guys, I think like heavy stuff, but I think me and Michael maybe like the heavier side of things more than Oz and Robert. But to say that, I mean, we're trying to make it as heavy as possible without getting too extreme. Like I think, like Take It to the Cross was a little much when they tried to do that. So we're trying to take it right to the edge, but keep it melodic and keep the choruses singable and all that. I mean, that's where our background is, and we're just trying to, stick to that kind of thing because we've always loved heavier stuff, and like Judas Priest and Maiden and stuff like that. We loved when that came out, and so we've been listening to that stuff for forever. And so you get influenced by all your early listenings.
Sure. Well, I think you guys nailed it if that's what you're going for. You nailed that. I think
Oh,
so.
good, good.
Talk about a little bit about the recording process. Now, you say Michael does most of the writing, presents you guys songs, and then you go and rehearse them. How about recording? I mean, are you all together recording, or are you in separate locations? How's that
Yeah,
work?
yeah, yeah. We're all together. We're doing it like the like in the old days, man. We're actually we go to a studio. It's called Spirit House. It's up in Long Meadow, Massachusetts, and um, beautiful place. So there's this giant house. Paul and Danny run the place there. Paul owns the studio, and we live in his house. It's a gigantic old building. I think it was built in the mid 1800s, and the studio is just down a little path right behind the house, and it used to be a horse stables, and they converted it into this beautiful studio with apartment above it and all. So we live in the house. Paul will cook for us and everything. I mean, it's a great setup. So we just walk 100 feet down to the studio. So we'll rehearse in the house. We'll set up in one of the rooms, and we'll work up one or two songs, usually two songs, and really get them tight and know what we want to do with those two songs. And then we'll go down and record those two. We're done recording those. We'll go back to the house and we'll rehearse two more songs and get those right. So we don't have our head full of too much stuff, 12 new songs you're trying to remember to record. So we work on it piece at a time. And we started that on the last record and it worked out so well. That's what we're going to keep doing. So that's what we did on this record. But we're all in there together and playing off each other and giving each other ideas. I'll give Michael ideas on the guitar part, and he'll tell me to get his ideas on the bass part, drums, everything. So it's a big collaboration. We have a great time doing that.
Is there a lot of experimenting going on in the studio as far as sounds, or do you already have the Stryper sound dialed in pretty much?
Michael's got the guitar sounds are amazing. He gets a great guitar sound live and in the studio. But we had the only thing we experiment with a little bit, some of the clean tones we'll experiment with, and the keyboard stuff that's on there. It's almost subliminal. I mean, you don't really hear it, but there's a lot of mood and bass heavy synth stuff in the background. It almost sounds like a bass guitar sometimes. And all that will experiment with different sounds and stuff to bring that low end and make it a little more full, but not so much that you can tell it's a keyboard playing. So we're work on that kind of thing, but it's pretty much we know going in what we're going to do. We'll play with little things like that.
Sure. And when you're putting those layers on in the studio, like you said, with the keyboards and stuff, do you take under consideration of performing that live?
No,
No.
you don't hear it enough it wouldn't be another instrument you'd have to add live. It's it's so far in the background when it's mixed that you really can't pick it up. It's more feeling it gives it's kind of like doing shaker or something like that on a country record. You don't hear it, but it's got this feel thing going. Oh, it's little subliminal things you can do that help it along.
Now, when you're performing live as compared to the studio, do you use the same equipment or do you change when you go to live settings?
No, it's different live.
Is it?
Yeah. In the studio, the bass is, I mean, we just DI the bass, so it's all direct. Michael uses real amps in the studio. He'll probably use 5 or 6 different heads and 3 or 4 different guitars. So in different songs, he wants a certain sound or certain, he likes this guitar on this song. So he'll change up that. Live, he doesn't use a guitar head. He's got a DI pedal board thing, ISP built just for him. It's like his signature model. This thing's amazing. It sounds so good. And it's DI. You don't even have to mic the cabinet. So it's got 2 DI lines running. I got 2 DI lines running. Oz has 2 DI lines running off of his board. So there's no mics on stage except the drums. And it tightens it up. You don't have a lot of bleed going on, getting, stuff coming in from a microphone. So it makes the stage a little nicer, a little tighter up there for us. And I just love that because we've never done that before.
Yeah, yeah. So what are you using live?
Yeah, I just got an Aguilar endorsement. I'm so happy. This Aguilar, now I got the DV 751. It's a monster. It's like weighs almost 50 pounds, this amp, this head. Joe, I've never heard nothing in my life sound like this.
Really?
I've been going after my whole life, and all you have to do is turn it on. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
I'm not saying this because I got an endorsement with them. I used one on a backline gig one time. We were doing a fly date, and I always ask for an Ampeg 4 Pro, so I always used before because they were pretty powerful. They didn't have one of those, but had one of these Aguilars, and I plugged into that thing, and I hit the first note, and my knees got weak. And it was like, oh my gosh, it was perfect. So I called them the next day and talked them into endorsing me, and so I got that amp. All my basses have Aguilar preamps and pickups in them. Basses are made by Roscoe, a great company in North Carolina, all handmade here in the U.S. I'm using 2 810 PV cabinets, which I've had for the last several years. I didn't want to go out and buy a new cabinet, so these are great sounding cabinets. Sound just like an Ampeg 810. So it's the best live sound I've ever had.
Well, I'm looking forward to checking that out. You guys are playing in Myrtle Beach in November.
November 16th, man. I'm beyond excited. How long it's been since I've played here?
I was going to ask, when's the last time you played your hometown?
I don't even know. I know I played here with Craig Morgan when I was doing the country thing. We played downtown at some little political event that was happening. That was probably 15 years ago. So I don't even know, man. It's been way too long. And I can't wait to see a bunch of my friends that are coming out. And I want to invite everybody that I've ever met. Please come see me because it's been way too long. So I'm real excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Remember last time you were on the show, we were talking about you playing here, and we were saying how, House of Blues wouldn't book it, and here you are.
Yeah.
Now you're playing House of Blues.
We finally talked him into it. That
Yeah.
was, it was great. And it's the last show of the tour. So I just get to drive home. I don't have to fly home, pack up all my stuff and all. So I can just
How
start.
cool is that?
It's perfect.
So you guys are on the 40th anniversary tour. How long has this tour been going?
Yeah, we went for about a month, the first leg. And sorry about the phone from again. The first leg was about a month. I got about 10 more days off. We just took off. We're taking 2 weeks off. Then the second leg starts up in Nashville, and that runs through the 19th. So I'll be another month or a little longer out on the second leg. We're going from Nashville to California and back. So a long, long tour.
So 40 years, Stryper's been out there 40 years. I mean, how do you pick a set list for a tour like this?
That's really hard. Yeah. I mean, we keep rotating songs from tour to tour. We took, I mean, Michael come up with the songs he thought would. It's kind of like it's pretty cool the way we're doing this tour. We're actually doing two sets. So there's no opening band, it's just us. So the first show is all the old stuff, and it's in chronological order. Starts with the first album and goes all the way down. So we do an hour of that. And then the second show, we'll take a little intermission, change, put different clothes on to try to make the first set look a little more like the older stuff they used to wear. And then we'll come out and modernize it a little bit. So the second show is from, I think it's 2005 when they started re-releasing albums. So it starts in 05 to present album. And we just had to pick, like, you get to pick one or two songs off each record, So it was really hard to do that, but I think we've got a really good set list down.
So how many songs off When We Were Kings are you throwing in there?
Oh, we're only doing
Some-
one off of that one.
Just
Yeah.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah.
Can you say?
When We Were Kings.
Oh, you're doing that one. Okay.
Title track. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's got to be, I mean, you want to play the new songs, I'm sure, but fans in reality want to hear the old songs. Is that something you struggle with when you're trying to figure out, all right, what are we going to do?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but especially for them, man, they've been playing Soldiers Under Command for 39 years, 38 years or whatever. And you get tired of it, man. I got tired of Firehouse. And just in the 10 years I was there, you get so tired of playing Don't Treat Me Bad and Love of a Lifetime,
Yeah.
I mean, they're great songs, but you just do it every show and it gets boring to you after a while. And you imagine how they think about it. I mean, they've been doing it three or four times longer than that. So, in that respect, we like doing the newer stuff a lot more, or they do. But to me, it's still fresh. The whole set's still pretty fresh to me. So I had a problem. I mean, they would, but they love playing the new stuff, I think, better than the old stuff. So it might come across a little bit live. I mean, a lot of the fans like the newer stuff better too. I mean, it just sounds better because the technology's changed so much, and it's the recording processes. So the records sonically sound way better, and the writing's great. and he's still singing his butt off. So it's I think that's what makes the newer stuff. The old fans also love the new stuff. So I think it's a great thing.
Do you find that there's new fans at Stryper shows, or do you think they're previous fans that are still with you guys, or maybe a mixture of both?
There's a mixture, but I mean, the majority, so the fans have stuck with this band since the beginning. There are people out there, the same age as we are. They're bringing their kids to the show, and there's other people there. I mean, every night Michael will say, "Who's seen us before? Raise your hand." And people will raise their hand. Who hasn't seen us before? And it's like a quarter of the crowd every night has never seen us before. And he's like, why did you wait 40 years to come see us? But it's amazing to me that, and it's not all people that are related to old fans. It's just new people that are finding out about it and interested in it and want to come see it. So I'm not sure why that is. I'm just happy about it. So no, yeah.
Sure. Well, like I said, I'm looking forward to that November show. I think last time I saw Stryper was on To Hell with the Devil tour, I think.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no, it wasn't. It was, I lied. It was Against the Law. I saw him on that tour.
Oh, that was 90, wasn't it? Not, no,
No, I think
88.
I don't know. That was when
Oh,
they
I
got
can't
rid of the
remember
yellow and
either.
went to the blue and gray or something like that, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember. But
Yeah. But it was
yeah,
it's been a while. That's what I'm saying. It's been a while.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
and I've never
Yeah,
seen
I
you
think it
there.
was late 80s. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah. You've been in the band, I think, 7 years this month,
yeah, I can't
October.
believe time is flying, man. It's so weird. It doesn't seem, I mean, it seems like 3 years to me. Yeah, but it's been seven. It's crazy.
So you're going to be doing an in-store at Retroactive, which I know very well, that store.
Yeah.
Um, uh, when's the last time you did an in-store? Do you do those often?
Whew, no, those days are gone, dude.
No, they're not. They're coming up.
No, I mean, for me, I mean, the last I don't know, sometime at Firehouse. We used to do it like every week. You're doing it or somewhere at a record store. Record stores are gone, so places like Retroactive doing this is amazing. I am so happy they're here in this town and helping promote shows and selling some cool merch and stuff. So you don't run into places like that very often. We're lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a great turnout. I'm excited. I know a lot of people are excited for it. And it's again, it's your hometown.
I know. Just come by and say, hey, all my cousins need to come
Your
see
cousin.
me.
You got a lot of cousins in the area.
I got a lot of cousins. Yeah. Yeah.
So what is after the tour ends, what's up next with Stryper?
Next year is, I think, going to be majority international dates. So we're working on a European tour, Asia, Japan, Mexico, Australia. Um, so we're trying to get all that straightened out now. But I don't I don't know if there'll be any in-state touring next year or not. I haven't heard. We've been touring this year on the acoustic record and this record. I mean, I don't want to oversaturate the market. They get tired of seeing you coming by so many times. So we'll probably take next year off of the states and do all international stuff.
That'll be fun.
So
Is
you need to
Japan
see us this year and not next year.
is Japan still a good market for rock and roll music out there?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Japan was incredible for Firehouse. The entire Southeast Asia region for Firehouse was huge. I mean, I think we had 10 or 12 gold albums in 10 or 12 different countries just in Asia, right? From Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Japan, Hong Kong. I mean, everywhere over there. Firehouse was really did really well. And Stryper, they are a little. I think they gravitated more toward Europe. They have a little bigger following in Europe than Firehouse did because we only toured over there once.
Really?
Yeah, we went over there in '91, toured with Status Quo. If anybody knows who that
No, I
is,
don't know who that is.
they're well. If you lived over there, they had one single in the States back in like '69.
Huh.
Never came here, never tried to do anything here. They're bigger than the Rolling Stones, dude, in Europe. It's
What?
insane. They back in '91 at that time, I think they'd sold like 130 million albums just in Europe.
I got to check them out. I've never heard of them.
It's
You're not pulling my leg, are you?
no, they had two or three tractor trailers just for catering, 10 or 12 chefs on the road with them. It
Wow.
was insane. The first three shows we did with them, we were there for a month. I think about a month with them. And the first three nights, Wembley sold out, 3 nights in a row at Wembley.
Get out.
I swear. Insane. Every show was sold out on the entire tour. It was
I,
nuts. That's anyway, that's the only time we went to Europe. We concentrated on the Southeast Asia thing, and they concentrated a little more on Europe. So we're trying to break. They've done Japan several times, and they would really want to go back because they do well. Stryper does well in Japan, and they've played Indonesia. So we want to get back into those markets and see what happens.
do you still get gifts in Japan? Remember back in the day, you used to
Last
get
time I was
dolls.
there, I did. Yeah,
Did you get dolls and stuff?
yeah, yeah. They found out I was a big Ultraman fan when I was
Yes.
growing up, right?
I love
And they
the.
found out I didn't tell anybody that I remembered. It must have come up in an interview or something. And man, when I went to Japan, I started getting nothing but Ultraman dolls and karaoke machines and all this stuff. It was cool. But yeah, they still do that. I love that country so much. The people are amazing.
Do you still have any of your stuff?
No.
No, what happened?
I had a house fire in
Uh,
Nashville and everything all burned up.
oh man,
Yeah,
that's a
I
shame.
mean all my, gold and platinum albums, all my signed Stephen King books, all my
Wow,
everything got
no.
destroyed, all my guitars. I did save two that my dad had given me that I kept of his, and I risked going in there to get those two. And by the time I did that, I couldn't go back in.
Oh no. Were
And
you able to save your was it American Music Award? I think you guys won.
nope,
No.
that melded too.
Ugh.
Shelly, she called them and got another one made for me and gave it to me
Oh
for a
yeah,
year. Yeah. So I
that's
have
cool.
that again. And because that was one of the most exciting moments of my career, I guess, when we beat Nirvana and Alice in Chains out for
Yeah.
that. We were so surprised. And so that means a lot to me. So she got me another one of those. My mom had a few plaques in her house that I got when she passed. So I have a few plaques now, but yeah, all this stuff got destroyed. And then when I moved to Myrtle 3 weeks after I built the new house, the Hurricane Florence came right over the roof of it and flooded our whole neighborhood. And I lost 5 bases that day. So
Oh
it's
no.
a mess. It's been like I always tell everybody I need to buy a house in LA so I can let it be destroyed by an earthquake. So cover all of it.
Let's just stop destroying houses.
That would be the best thing ever. But yeah, it's that other than those two events, my life's been pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome. How many bases do you have? Do you collect them or
Right now, I only have, let's see, one, two, three, four, five, six. I only have six, I think.
six? Well, that's a good
Yeah,
amount. That's pretty
two
good.
on the road. Yeah, yeah, I think I have six. I only can play one at a time.
That's right.
And they all kind of sound alike. It's not what, that I think with bass, it's more how it feels. I mean, I can make any bass sound decent. I mean, there's Roscoe sound utterly amazing. I mean, those are above and beyond all this other stuff I got. But I don't think it's quite. Some people argue with that. I was going to say that's not quite as different sounding as guitars are, but yeah, but I found what I need. The Roscoe's are perfect, and I'm not really looking for anything else. So
That's awesome, man. Well, again, you're going to be at Retroactive on actually coming up in a couple days here on
yeah, Saturday,
October
right?
5th. October 5th. You'll be
Yep,
there 2 to 4 p.m.
yep.
and you'll be taking pictures, signing autographs, whatever, right? You just need to
Whatever,
come.
yeah, whatever people want.
All right. That's
We'll
going to be
do
a
it.
fun time. I'll be there. I'll see you there.
Awesome. Beautiful, man. I can't wait to see you. And all the people there at Retroactive and all the fans, I can't wait. That's going to be a fun day. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Perry, man. I know you got stuff to do, so I'll let you go. I appreciate you taking time.
Oh, dude. Thank you. I loved it. Thank you.